Once, in a quiet village nestled between tall mountains, lived a 24-year-old man named Marco. Although the village was calm and beautiful, Marco felt anything but peaceful inside. His mind was constantly racing. From morning till night, thoughts crowded his head, some about past mistakes, others about an uncertain future. These thoughts made him anxious, exhausted, and unable to rest. He couldn't sleep well, and the smile on his face had slowly faded over time. It felt like his brain was stuck in a storm that wouldn't pass. One day, Marco heard a story from an old traveler. There was a remote village deep in the hills where a wise elder now lived. Long ago, this man was a well-known psychologist in the city who had helped countless people heal their minds and find calm. But in his later years, he had left city life behind to live near nature, offering guidance only to those who truly sought it. This tale sparked hope in Marco's heart. "Maybe this man can teach me how to quiet my thoughts," he whispered to himself. Without delay, Marco packed his things and began the long, tiring journey through hills and forests. After many days, he arrived at the peaceful hill village. There, surrounded by plants and trees, stood a modest home with vines creeping up the walls. On its front porch sat an elderly man with silver hair and a face full of peace. His eyes were closed, and his breathing was slow and steady. Marco gently stepped forward and spoke. "Grandfather, my mind is full of noise. I can't stop overthinking. Please, can you help me find peace?" The old man opened his eyes slowly and gave a kind smile. "So you seek peace," he said softly. "Come, I have a simple task for you." He led Marco to a small garden in the back. There he filled a glass with water, right up to the brim. It was so full that even the slightest bump would cause it to spill. "Take this glass," the elder said, "and walk through the village to the far end and back. But be very careful. Do not let a single drop spill." Marco looked puzzled, but agreed. Holding the glass carefully, he began his walk. The path was narrow and lively. Children played on the sides, shopkeepers shouted out offers, and dogs barked from alleyways. But Marco paid no attention. His eyes stayed fixed on the glass. Each step was slow and steady. His only goal, keep the water from spilling. When he finally returned, he let out a deep breath. "Grandfather," he said proudly, "I did it! Not a single drop spilled." The old man nodded and smiled again. "Very good," he said. "But tell me, did you see the children playing on the side of the road? Did you hear the dogs? Did you notice the colors of the market stalls?" Marco looked confused. "No," he admitted. "I didn't notice anything. I was only focused on the glass." The wise man leaned in gently and said, "That, my son, is the answer you came looking for. You were not thinking about yesterday's regrets. You weren't afraid of tomorrow's problems. Your mind was calm, focused only on what you were doing right now." Marco stood silently as the realization washed over him. Peace, he now understood, wasn't hidden in a faraway place. It wasn't something to chase or beg for. Peace was already inside him. He had simply forgotten how to find it. All it took was returning his awareness to the present. With a grateful heart, Marco bowed and said, "Thank you, grandfather. I now understand. If I want a peaceful mind, I must stay connected to this moment. That is where calmness lives." The old man smiled once more. As the sun dipped below the horizon and birds flew home, Marco began his walk back. But this time, something was different. He wasn't the same troubled young man who had arrived days ago. Now he carried peace within him, because now he knew how to calm the storm inside. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming and meaningful tales. Thank you for being with us today. See you next time with a new story and a new life lesson. Until then, stay calm and stay kind.